second unit, we will be basically going through the MOS device. Okay, so MOS device physics will be there. So in this unit, in the second unit, we will be going through the MOS system. Like we will be first fabricating Hello, am I audible to everyone? Yes. Okay. Actually, there was some network issue, so we were. Okay. Okay. So in this second unit, we will be discussing about the fabrication of these devices, and along with this, once we have fabricated these devices, we will use these devices to design the logical circuits. Like we will be basically starting with the inverter circuit. So these inverter circuits will be analyzed for its operation, basically operation, like how the inversion can be done, what is this internal structure of the circuit, and how the inversion takes place, what are the different operating regions of the MOS devices that will be used for designing the inverter. Along with that, once we have analyzed, we will see the delay of digital circuit delay calculation, and also we will see like how the power is calculated. So along with the power delay, and the next parameter will be considered as area. So these are the different parameters that are being used to characterize a VLSI circuit. So this combination of these two is also called energy. There are different parameters we will be analyzing, and along with that, one of the important parameter will be there, like we call it noise margin. So in the inverter circuit, we will be analyzing this inverter circuit for different parameters. So the main focus will be with respect to the noise, like how the noise will be affecting our circuit design. So we will see that. So we will start with the fabrication process flow. There are some basic steps that are used to fabricate a basic device. So before that, what we call it is we go for substrate. A substrate, we will be considering a substrate. Silicon substrate will be considered. So we are basically taking the NMOS for designing. So here in the fabrication flow, this silicon substrate will be considered. Okay. So once we have taken a silicon substrate, we will be designing an NMOS on this substrate. So this substrate will be looking like this. So once we have obtained this substrate, we will be depositing a silicon oxide, that is SiO2 layer, on the silicon substrate. So whatever silicon substrate is there, deposition of silicon dioxide will be taking place. Okay, so after that, once we have done the deposition, we will, the next step will be, this is the first step, this is the second step. So in this next step, we will be depositing another layer that is called photoresist. So this photoresist is the layer that, as its name suggests, it will provide a resistance. It will provide a resistance to the light. So whatever light we will be, so there are different type of photoresist materials are there. So here we will be considering photoresist that will be uh, considering an ultraviolet rays. So it will block that ultraviolet rays, and uh, it will be performing its operation. So once we have deposited the complete oxide layer, uh, to have gate region, we should be having space there. So to make that space, we do the photoresist layer. Okay, all other layers will be unexposed. So in the third step, like if we are considering in the figure D, so once we have deposited the photoresist, that is insoluble, in the sense there are different type of photoresist. So here a photoresist that is insoluble uh, will be used. So once we have used this photoresist, we will put an ultraviolet rays, and we will be blocking this region. This drain and source region will be blocked, and the gate region will be provided with the ultraviolet rays. So once we have provided, so whatever photoresist material will be there, this exposed photoresist becomes soluble. So once we have provided the ultraviolet rays, this will become soluble, and after it becomes soluble, we will be removing it by chemical etching. Okay, so this chemical etching method is used. There are different types. So either we could be using chemical method or dry etching. So if we are using any method, by that etching method, we will be removing the soluble photoresist material. Okay, so photoresist layer will be removed, and the remaining layers will be a hardened photoresist. Means this will be a hard photoresist. It will not be removed by etching. So the only section that is the soluble photoresist will be removed by chemical etching. Okay, or dry etching. Okay, so etching is the removal of waste materials, like, okay, so etching waste basically do is to remove the waste materials in particular region. Okay, layer. So the next step will be, once we have done the etching, after etching, the structure will be looking like this. So it will be having oxide SiO2. Okay, and at the edge, okay, at the edge, drain and source side, and one photoresist layer will be there. And after etching, the complete uh, oxide in this region will also be removed. Okay, So once we have removed this, now the next will be, once we are going for this, we will be removing the hardened photoresist also. So once we have removed the gate region oxide, we will be removing the hardened photoresist. The same method will be used like chemical or dry etching. Okay. So the first basic uh, step was from this substrate to the complete this one. So this was the basic step we call it. So this basic step will be followed in all the fabrications. Okay, so this was the basic flow. So in that basic flow, from this a basic substrate to a substrate with SiO2 will be uh, framed or you can fabricated. So there are, from this step to this step, there are lots of processes that we have seen previously in the previous slides. So this, now this structure, this layer will be used to design either NMOS or PMOS. Okay, so once we have considered the NMOS transistor designing, so we will be considering this complete basic Si substrate, the silicon substrate with oxide. In that, we will be depositing a thin oxide. Okay, so this thin oxide will be your the oxide that we see into the uh, MOS transistors. So that is having a thickness of TOX. So this will be a thin oxide will be deposited, and this after that polysilicon will be polysilicon layer will be there. So this gate, whatever gate we call it, so gate could be having a polysilicon region or a metal region. Okay, so gate will be connected to either of these. So once we have deposited oxide, along with that, to make a contact, so this will be semiconductor oxide and a metal. So metal will be polysilicon, or it could be an aluminum. So that polysilicon layer will be deposited in the complete region. So the next step will be the etching. So from there, so if we are removing the polysilicon layer other than the gate region, so here only the polysilicon layer of the gate region will be remaining. So all other polysilicon layers will be removed by using the process that is etching. Okay, so whenever we are removing any waste layers, wastage of layer, that will be done by the etching. So and also this oxide should be only in the gate region. So all other oxide, so this complete oxide will be removed from this one and this one, and this will be also done by the same etching process. So after applying the etching process, we will be removing the oxide from the silicon, because in this space we will be depositing uh, the metal, so that we can make a contact between source and drain. Okay, so this is the gate region. This will be available for making the contact. So in the drain and the source region, the contact was direct contact, but in case of gate contact, so gate will be connected with the body or substrate by between by oxide. So this oxide will be there, so this connection will be there. So to make source and drain connected, we have to make, or we have to remove this oxide, thin oxide we have considered in the whole region. So the next step will be, once we have made space for source and drain, we will be depositing the, or you can say we will be doping, depositing a highly doped, we will be framing that, fabricating a highly doped region near this source and drain region. So near the source and drain region, we will be depositing uh, highly doped N plus regions. Okay. So once we have deposited the N plus regions, we will again draw an insulating layer, okay, to complete region. So this region will be providing. So whenever just we just see in the previous states, like whenever we need to deposit a single layer in particular direction, we have to deposit that layer in all around the substrate. In the complete substrate, that layer will be deposited, and after depositing in the complete region, we will be removing all that layers that is not important to us. So once we have deposited the polysilicon layer, this one was in the complete substrate region, but we only need polysilicon in the gate region. So by leaving behind the gate region polysilicon layer, all others are removed. Similarly, to provide you can say isolation between gate, this gate one is there, gate and your drain and source, we will be depositing another oxide, insulating oxide, and to the whole substrate, and we will be removing this to make the contact. So in the source and drain region we will be removing this oxide from this region. Okay, so once we are removing from this region, this there will be a space for connection. And now this insulating region, this one is an insulating region, oxide, insulating oxide, this just separated gate region with the drain and source. So once suppose this layer was not there, so what will be happening, once we have connected the drain and source here, it will also be connected to the gate. Okay, so this will be like sorted structure. So to separate, we have to deposit an thin oxide layer to separate gate, drain and source. Okay, now the next step is we need to deposit the terminals. So to make connection between source and drain, we will deposit a metal. So this metal could be aluminum. Okay, so we have deposited the metal. Once the metal is deposited all around, okay, so this metal will only be deposited where the source and drain will be there. So all other metal areas, layers will be removed. Only the regions, that is source and drain, will be taken consideration. Okay, so these two will be considered as source and drain sides, and this point will be your gate. Okay. So still we are having some modification, like, so whatever this gate region is there. So once this has been done, this much of steps is required to fabricate the NMOS. Okay, so this is the complete NMOS structure. Now we will see like how the CMOS anvil process has been taking place. So what happens? So what is anvil? Actually, uh, we will be seeing. Okay. So this is your single substrate. So on the single substrate, what we do is, once we are going to design, and so suppose this is your P type substrate. So on P type substrate, we can design, and okay, so this will be N plus, and this will be your N plus regions. So this up to this region will be considered as your N MOS. Okay. So on the P type substrate, we will be fabricating the NMOS. Okay. Similarly, to fabricate the CMOS, so CMOS is combination of this, CMOS is combination of NMOS and PMOS. Okay. So it is okay. So CMOS is the combination of NMOS and PMOS, and this CMOS is combination of PMOS and NMOS on the same substrate. Okay, so on the same substrate, so instead of fabricating NMOS separately and PMOS separately and connecting it with wires, what we do is we we can fabricate NMOS and PMOS on the same substrate. So this same substrate is P-type substrate. On that one side, NMOS can be fabricated, and on the other side, we can fabricate PMOS. But for fabrication of PMOS, so suppose we want to fabricate a PMOS, then in that PMOS, N-type substrate should be there. Okay, so this substrate should be N-type, and drain and source will be of P plus. Okay, and this will be the gate along with the oxide. Okay, so this gate, drain, and source similar to this. So, but here the substrate is a P type. So what we will be doing to fabricate NMOS and PMOS on the same substrate, we will be identifying a region into this P substrate, and we will be making it of N type. Okay, so we will be making it to N type by doping, by providing a doping. We will be making it of N type. Okay, so on a single substrate, silicon substrate, we can dope to make it P type and another part as N type. So in that N type, it will be considered as an N well. This will be so considered as N well. So whenever another uh, region will be formed on a p-type substrate, so if n-type region is being formed on p-type substrate, that n-type region will be considered as n-well. Okay, so in this that n-well, now we can deposit this p plus region, okay, and gate to form a p-type MOSFET, or you can say PMOS. So now the method of fabricating NMOS and PMOS on the same substrate will be considered as your CMOS uh, fabrication, and in that we will be using an N-well process. So this N-well process will be, the N-well will be considered as the deposition of, or you can say deposition of N-type region on P-type substrate. So on P-type substrate, we will be depositing a area or a region that will be of N-type. This where the P chain PMOS will be fabricated is considered N-well. Okay, so the N-well CMOS process starts with a moderately doped uh, with the impurity concentration typically less than this one. So if we are depositing an N-well process on a P substrate, so on a P substrate we will be depositing a N-well, then that will be done by an impurity of lesser concentration, okay, on the p-type substrate. Then an initial oxide layer is grown on the entire surface, so we will be depositing the entire surface with the initial oxide layer. So this is how we should be proceeding to have CMOS fabrication. Okay, so first of all, the animal will be starting with the moderately doped impurity. So animal will be moderately doped, and along with that, initial layer of oxide will be grown on the both sides, and then donor atom, usually phosphorus, are implanted through this window in oxide. So in this oxide, we will be considering the phosphorus atoms to have the doping concentration sufficient to have. Okay, so once we have done that, this, so for the gate terminal, so there are different materials that can be used. So silicon nitride can be used. So that could be any metal that we should be considering to have conduction, proper conduction. Okay, so silicon substrate is there. We have deposited the this P plus and P plus. So this P plus region is basically to provide like what we call it padding, we call it. So this in the second one, so whatever this region is there, this is called your padding. Okay, so this region is called your padding region. So this basically provides the separation between two regions. So this will be providing the separation, or you can call it oxide isolation, we call it. Okay, so this padding will be there, and this region after padding, so whatever this region will be there, so this region will be called active region. In this active region, either NMOS or PMOS will be fabricated. So only this active MOS, active area will be considered for fabricating NMOS and PMOS. So a single substrate we will be taking in that we will be doing this type of steps. So oxide will be deposited, and silicon nitride will be deposited, and along with that, to have an isolation between different transistors, we will be depositing this P plus region to provide an isolation between all the other transistors that we will be depositing. So in this region, the first step after that performing of oxide deposition is okay. So we will just see it is just the last one. So once we have deposited, once we have made up to this, we will be going through the N-well region deposition. So once we will be depositing the N-well region, that will be a thick field oxide is grown in the area surrounding the transistors. Okay. Yes, किसी को कोई डाउट है क्या? So अपना ऑडियो जो है म्यूट करके रखें, ठीक है. So once we have deposited the N-well region and we are having here P type substrate, this will be considered as P-well, where the NMOS will be fabricated. Here PMOS will be fabricated. So in that, the first step that we have going through is we should be depositing the oxide, and after oxide we will be depositing the polysilicon. So this will be the polysilicon next step. So the similar steps will be followed whatever we have followed in the previous NMOS fabrication. So once we have deposited the N-well region, all the steps will be similar, and we will be proceeding similar to that. So once we have deposited polysilicon, and after etching out, we will be providing a space for N plus region, also source and drain. Here similar same source and drain will be there. So in that region, N plus region will be deposited, and in the N well, P plus regions will be deposited. Okay. So along with that, to make to provide a separation, so in case of N type substrate, N type MOSFET, the isolation will be of P plus region. So here also will be P plus region, but in case of N well region, the isolation will be provided by N plus, and here also the N plus. Okay, so that there will be an isolation between the two MOSFETs. So this is once we have deposited the polysilicon, and we will be providing metal to make the contact. So once we make the contact, we will be etching out, and this drain of the same side will be connected to one each other, and this source will be of other side, and gate will be connected by using the polysilicon. Okay, so this will be the polysilicon gate. So this is how a single uh, substrate can be used to design an NMOS transistor and PMOS transistor. Okay. So this is how we can fabricate NMOS and CMOS. So, and from there we can depict like we can conclude like in fabricating a single NMOS and PMOS, we will be requiring more number of steps, processing steps, fabrication steps. But once we have considered NMOS and PMOS on the same substrate, it will be requiring same steps, but we will not have to repeat that step, one for NMOS and another for PMOS. So it is easy to fabricate CMOS circuits, and it also provide a better we call it a density. It basically gives an optimized transistors. So if we are manufacturing fabricating NMOS and PMOS separately, so this NMOS is there and separate PMOS is there. So but in this will be requiring higher area. So higher area will be required. Okay, but in case of CMOS, because drain is connected. Okay, so we are having a single connection. So also it requires it reduces the interconnect area. So what happens? Interconnect wires, we call it, or interconnect area is there. So based on wires, how the wires we are using, there are different parasitic capacitances will be there. So we should be using a minimum number of wires to connect two circuits, two transistors. So this CMOS are having different advantages over a single NMOS or PMOS fabrication and then connection. So once we are combining NMOS and PMOS, it will be having some disadvantage than the CMOS combination that is having the single substrate with NMOS and PMOS. Okay, so in the next class we will be starting with the inverter design by using this CMOS concept. Okay, so if you have any doubt, you can ask. Otherwise, I will be closing the class. किसी को डाउट है? Yes. Okay then.